Hey guys, Van here from rcnightmare.com. Today I'm going to show you how to attach Dean's Ultra Plug connectors onto the Novak Kinetic ESC. This will be the same process if you're attaching the connectors to any leads, really. The ESC just happens to be what I'm working with right now. You may have seen the unboxing I did of it earlier. This is the next step in being able to use it, is attaching connectors so I can hook up some batteries. So alright, what we see here, I have half of the Dean's in the vise here. The vise is just to hold it still so that when I'm soldering it, it's not going to move all over the place. The end I'm soldering the ESC to is the male end. Female end in my hand here is going to go onto the battery. The battery is going to go attach right here. This is going to get attached to the ESC, and let's get started. What I'm using is 25 watt, low wattage iron here. Seems sufficient. I just have a wet rag here to clean the end of my iron. Most people use a sponge, but I find that works fine. I got some 6040 tin lead solder here, so let's go ahead. First thing to do is make sure you put the shrink tubing on the wires. Now is the time to do it. You don't want to remember that you hadn't done it after you've soldered the ends onto it. So with that in place, let's go ahead. Just going to clean the tip here and tinning the iron here just to get it nice and clean. What I'm going to do first is tin the ends of the Dean's connector and the ESC wires. The ESC wires come pre-tinned, but I'm just going to re-tin them just because that's the way I am. So this is how I'm going to go about tinning the Dean's connector. Let's do this here. See if you can see this well. I'm just going to apply the heat to the back of the tab here and then the solder to the front. You only need to do this or hold the iron onto the tab for maybe 1 or 2 seconds. So there, saw some iron flow through. Some solder flowing. That's all we needed. Now I'm going to do the same to this other tab. Iron on the back, solder on the front. That's all we needed. Okay, so now let's go ahead and tin the cables here. Okay, so I'm actually going to do this right on the table here, just because these should be in a vise to keep them steady, but because they aren't, I'm just going to do it like this. So just apply the iron right on here. The reason I'm applying the iron right on top of the wire and then the solder in between, normally I wouldn't do that, but in this case the wire is fairly thick. This is 14 gauge, I believe, something like that. So I want to keep the iron on this as short as possible, so this is a good compromise. Again, you don't need a lot of solder. If you see like balls or gobs on it, too much solder. It's not going to help any, but okay, so let's go ahead. I have the Dean's connector pre-tinned now, and I have the cables pre-tinned. So, okay, let's see if I can do this so that my hand's not in the way. The plus terminal goes on the bottom here, and the negative goes on the top, the way I have it oriented right now. But if you look on the actual connector, you see it labeled as positive and negative. Just follow that and you will be fine. So now with both surfaces tinned, I'm going to start with this positive one and see where I get with this. So if I apply the heat to the back and then hold the wire up front like that. Okay, there we go. So that took about 2 seconds. And the solder started flowing. Once you see the solder flowing, you can remove the heat, but don't remove your other hand holding the wire there. And it's really hot right now, just so you know. But until it's kind of solidified, I don't want to move it, because that will promote a cold joint, which wouldn't be so cool. So there, it's cooled down a little bit, and I think we're good. So same deal with the black cable here. I'm gonna hold the black cable right against the tab where I want it to go. Hope you can see that all right. Okay, and then just apply the heat to the back of the tab. Again, 1-2 seconds is all it should be needed. There. So once I saw the solder flowing, that was good enough. And now I can release, tug on it a little bit. That's good. You can inspect the joint too. If it looks dull, chances are it's a cold joint. It should be shiny. And that actually looks pretty good. So from there, all you need to do is slide the shrink tubing up and over, and then with a heat gun or a lighter, some kind of heat source, just put that to it. The shrink tubing will shrink and then give you protection against possible shorts and whatnot. So there you have it. That's all there is to applying or attaching Dean's connectors onto the end of ESC. Again, this is the same steps you would take to attach it to any cables or wires. Right? Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel and then check out our website at rcnightmare.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.